welcome to Kapow Toys Presents. I'm your host, King Grimlock, and today we're going to be taking a look at United Frumble. Ain't touching that argument with a 10-foot pole. Let's take a look at their alt mode first. Two robots in the box, both absolutely identical. I was hoping, I must admit, for a remoulded head, but we didn't get it. We've got two absolutely identical robots. Both transform into this sort of anti-aircraft track tanky thing. It's kind of cool actually. It looks really nice. And the predominant colour on both of them is the darker shade, so they both come out in this much darker. I mean, the black and red one comes out black, and the blue one comes out dark blue and darker blue. So not touching that, not touching it. And the fact the tracks are all picked out in a different colour, really nice. And there are little breakups in the colour scheme. For example, they're slightly problematic, and that happens on both robots. On the back end, of course, you have that quintessential chest area which folds down for the robot mode. You also have some of the 5mm tabs both on there and on the weaponry system as well, and the weaponry system has a good range of articulation, both the front and top gun. My hands are probably well in the way of this, and a full movement there as well. Now there we go, perfectly highlight the problem. Now the pile drivers in this mode, now they are activated by this little button here on each side, and it is not too bad on that side actually. That one's fairly stiff, but they are on a hair trigger, and transforming them into this mode is very difficult because of it, because you're constantly fighting against that to clip it in. The alt modes aren't great, they're not bad. They're scouts, okay, they're scout size, and for scouts they're supremely detailed. Beautiful Decepticon logo on the top there. Supremely detailed, wonderful sculpting all over. Very, very light on the old paint apps, which is a shame. But these are, these were cassettes originally, so the fact they've got an alt mode is something nice. On the underside you do have leg kibble, but it's really quite tidy, all things considered. And he isn't at all bad to look at. He's not great. I like these guys so much. That's the thing. I just think these alt modes are a little bit shonky. They don't fit together that well. The problem with the pile driver thing makes it really, you lose your love for the alt mode very quickly. The guns are really nicely done. This I must admit is the first of the United or Henke lines that I've had a real QC issue with. These guys' heads pop off due to the transformation, and it's just some of the little things like the ends of the cannons aren't perfectly finished off and things like that, and you're paying the extra money. These guys aren't cheap, even more so on the secondary market. They're insanely expensive now, and you expect a bit more from them, but I didn't buy them for their alt modes. I didn't buy two scout robots to be Frenzy and Rumble to have half-track tanks. I bought them to have Frenzy and Rumble, and the robot mode, let's just get him out of the way and put him in. The robot mode does it. The robot mode is Frenzy and Rumble. It looks great. From the G1 reminiscent chest area to the cannons up over the shoulders, which just look fantastic, very reminiscent of the G1 self when you put the guns on the shoulders, to, the head as well is beautifully sculpted. Articulation is absolutely brilliant through the legs, great amount of movement through there. The arms are hindered somewhat by the gimmick, the pile drivers. Now the pile drivers, ladies and gentlemen, the pile drivers. You rotate the entire arm unit up, flip it down, you can then move that round the back so it's out of the way, and you have his pile driver. Does help if I get out of the way of the light. Yeah, that's it. Do the other one as well so you can see what he looks like. Fold the arms out of the way, and there you go. Pile driver mode. It's not bad. It actually looks a lot better in person than it ever did in those pictures when they first officially showed them. And you can, to a degree, get him to... Oh, if I... should have planned this, shouldn't I? Oh dear me. You can get him to kind of ground pound. You can get him to stand a little better, sort of splayed leg with it. The detailing on it is absolutely fantastic on the robot mode. Again, he is virtually kibble free, other than obviously a gun turret, which fits in quite nicely. It's not world-ending, and it does, of course, give you this cannon ensemble on the back. And as I say, the pile driver arm units, the fact you have to fold the hands over the back. But it's a nice little gimmick, and in a scout-sized robot, they've done a really good job to give them both a new alt mode, incorporate the Generation 1 head, chest, shoulder cannons, and the pile driver feature into that mode, and make them decent looking little robots as well. And they work so well as Frenzy and Rumble. There is just something so nice about them. I mean, I opened the packet, looked at them, handled them a bit. Alt mode disappointing, transformations tidy, quick. It's a bit of a sham to get into the alt mode from the robot, but vice versa is absolutely easy. Gimmick's nice, colour schemes work really well on both, head sculpts are beautiful, articulation's good for a scout. You know what, I love them, I absolutely love them. I mean, and when your other option is the Perfect Effect Shadow Warrior repaints, F&R of those, you know, they're it's quite a little bit smaller, and for roughly the same price as well now. I just think you get more here for your money, and they do have an alt mode that's standalone, isn't just a target master for a made-up character. They do look a little big compared to the other cassettes, but they have been upgraded to have their own alt modes rather than just being a Cassetticon. Can I recommend them? Really, I can't recommend them highly enough. I think they're really nicely done. They're great little sculpts. There are minor QC quibbles, which is a shame for a United toy. Any Japanese release with a QC quibble I always have a problem with, but after the farce that was the Masterpiece Rodimus, I thank my lucky stars these are at least in one piece. So, if you want a classic styled Frenzy Rumble, then you can go a lot further wrong than getting these. They have all the detail you'd want, some nice little gimmicks, great integration of the 5mm clip system, both on the arms and on the top of the gun turrets as well, and they just work really well. One little piece as well, which I had forgotten to mention earlier, is that the guns are actually on 3mm clips as well. So you can give him a walking stick. I mean, place it in his hands. Anyway, I've been your host, King Grimlock. This has been United Rumble, and we will see you next time.